Hey everyone, tonight we're looking at one of the most uncomfortable moments Jennifer Lopez has faced in recent years, because what was supposed to become a triumphant comeback era unexpectedly turned into a public conversation about celebrity relevance, ticket sales, and whether the entertainment industry has fundamentally changed around stars from the early 2000s. The situation escalated in 2024 during the rollout of her planned North American tour connected to the album This Is Me. Now, a project Lopez clearly treated as deeply personal and creatively ambitious. But as reports began circulating about unsold seats in multiple cities and later discussions emerged about the tour's restructuring and eventual cancellation announcement, the internet immediately transformed the story into something much larger than simple scheduling problems. Suddenly, people everywhere were debating whether Jennifer Lopez was experiencing a temporary commercial setback or a genuine cultural decline. What made the conversation especially brutal was the tone of online reactions. Entertainment reporters began analyzing ticket maps, resale prices, and venue availability in real time, while social media users compared Lopez's touring demand to younger artists dominating the streaming era. Some commentators argued that the issue reflected changing audience priorities rather than a failure unique to Lopez herself. Touring costs had increased dramatically, consumers were spending carefully due to inflation pressures, and even major artists outside the absolute top tier were struggling to sell expensive arena tickets consistently. Yet because Jennifer Lopez spent decades positioned as one of entertainment's untouchable superstars, many internet users interpreted the situation symbolically, almost as if her tour struggles represented the collapse of an entire celebrity era built on traditional fame rather than digital fan culture. The emotional intensity surrounding the story grew because Lopez herself framed the project in deeply personal terms. This Is Me Now was not marketed as a casual pop release but as an autobiographical statement connected to love, identity, and the emotional meaning behind reuniting with Ben Affleck after nearly 20 years. She financed major portions of the multimedia project herself, signaling how strongly she believed in its artistic importance. But modern audiences often react unpredictably when celebrities present their personal narratives too seriously. Some fans admired the ambition and vulnerability involved in creating such an elaborate reflection on her life. Others felt the project came across as overly self-mythologizing, especially at a time when internet culture increasingly rewards irony, emotional understatement, and perceived authenticity over cinematic self-presentation. Another layer that made this moment fascinating was how divided public opinion became regarding Lopez herself. Supporters pointed out that countless younger artists with viral popularity would never survive the level of scrutiny Lopez faced daily. They argued that the internet was selectively humiliating a woman who had spent decades working at an extraordinarily high level across music, film, dance, television, and business. Critics, however, claimed the tour situation exposed a growing disconnect between Jennifer Lopez's self-perception and actual audience demand. Some online discussions became surprisingly harsh, suggesting that Lopez continued approaching fame with an outdated mentality shaped by the peak tabloid years of celebrity culture, where visibility itself automatically translated into mass support. But others pushed back against this narrative, reminding people that Lopez had already survived multiple supposed career endings over the past 25 years and consistently reinvented herself afterward. What perhaps made the situation most revealing was how quickly the public turned the story into a referendum on aging in entertainment. Male legacy performers frequently continue touring successfully well into their later years without triggering the same level of commentary about relevance, desperation, or public image. Yet when Jennifer Lopez faced commercial turbulence, conversations instantly shifted toward whether she was trying too hard to remain culturally dominant. Some analysts argued this reflected a double standard deeply embedded within entertainment culture, especially toward women whose fame has always been tied partly to beauty, physical performance, and glamour. Lopez herself never embraced the idea of becoming a quiet legacy figure. Even in her 50s, she continued performing demanding choreography, launching projects at massive scale, and positioning herself as an active superstar rather than a nostalgic act from another generation. And maybe that is why this entire period became so fascinating to watch. The story was never just about ticket sales or one tour cycle. It became a broader cultural debate about whether old-school superstardom can still survive in a fragmented internet era where audiences consume entertainment differently, trust celebrity narratives less, and move on faster than ever before. Jennifer Lopez found herself standing directly in the middle of that transformation, carrying the expectations of a pre-social media entertainment machine into a digital culture that constantly questions fame itself. Thanks for watching, and before you go, tell me honestly, do you think Jennifer Lopez is being judged more harshly than most celebrities because of how famous she once was? Or do you believe the entertainment world has simply evolved beyond the kind of stardom she built her empire on?